professional music critics on the internet, Travis, Zach, and Josh. What's up, y'all?
Marshmallow Madness!
Marshmallow Madness time.
New metal.
You ready for some Marshmallow Madness, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Ghost.
Did it? It's gonna
Is
be
this
fucking
a Taco
fun.
Bell Mountain
We
Dew?
should do
Yeah,
a Ghost Retro.
Yeah, how
We should
how come
do
we
a
haven't?
Ghost Retro for Marshmallow Madness. We should do one.
One of the hottest
Ghost.
metal bands.
Yeah, we should do one.
Right? And a lot of people say they're like
Half the people in the
Scooby-Doo
comments
metal.
are gonna be like, "This isn't metal."
It is. It's
So,
Sorry,
fucking
he
metal.
won a
But
fucking award. It says
Speaking
they are.
of,
You got the golden award that says best metal performance.
speaking of something that has people split, today it's gonna be a discussion episode.
New metal.
New metal.
Is it metal?
Well, it's obviously metal.
Yeah.
But let's talk about new metal, you know? Because we're fans of a lot of stuff that gets lumped in that genre. A lot of those artists hate the term, don't want to be
It's
called
like a
new
lot
metal.
of artists get lumped into other terms like emo.
Yeah.
Where,
Or
you know,
somebody
we've
shit their
been there
pants.
talking about those bands who doesn't like these
Smelly ass bastard.
Oh, I did fart.
Yeah,
Sorry.
oh my god, why waif it this way?
Turn it both
Share
that way.
with the world.
Please.
So,
It's alright.
new
Fans
metal
going that way, so it's okay.
it's crazy though, because we're all around the same age. New metal is, in a way, what really introduced us into the metal world. If you think about it. If you think about
God
it.
damn it, when
Yeah.
you say it.
I was listening to like Napalm Death and all kinds.
Hey, you were a
maybe
little
that-
older
we
than
didn't
us.
get-
Zach
we
and I
didn't-
we had different things we
Our-
were growing up on before we got into the
The
heavy stuff.
first thing I remember that would be considered metal was Gwar.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the
Gwar.
first.
Gwar, but they're not new metal.
Yeah, they're not new metal.
Yeah, because new metal was the new.
But
kid.
I
It was the
remember
new kid on
hearing
the block.
this
When
Toilet
new metal
Earth.
came out, and it to us,
Everyone was saying that Korn and their earlier albums is so fucking hard. Have you heard their earlier stuff? It's so hard. And I'm like,
Yeah, but
Have
they
you
fell
heard
in
this?
this. They fell
I'm
in new
sitting
metal
there
because
thinking,
To
have
me-
you heard this Toilet Earth by Gwar?
yeah. So yeah,
You
definitely.
know, that's
But
where my mind stay
that's a
was.
different though. That's a different spot though.
Yeah, I know.
But-
It's not new metal.
It's like-
But when everyone's saying how hard Korn is,
I've never heard
I'm
anybody say
like,
corn. I mean, I must
but if-
know. I've never heard nobody say corn was hard. I just
But
always thought
I'm
they were.
gonna
I
be
can't
honest
hear
here
it
though,
now.
man. The self-titled
That's
Korn
dumb.
album,
Korn
and
is
The Life
great.
is Peachy. Those are some pretty
But I'm
heavy
not gonna-
fucking albums.
But
though.
I'm not gonna say they're like
I mean, they're not Gwar heavy.
Exactly.
But they're a
you
different
can't
heavy.
even compare them.
You can't, but they're
But
a
the whole
different
point
heavy.
was I've heard hard stuff before.
Yeah, I've heard harder than Korn, but
At
I
that
can
time
give-
when everyone was telling me that Korn was
yeah,
hard.
I mean,
That's where
it's
I'm
like,
getting.
have you heard, any of
Yeah,
some of that
exactly.
black metal shit? That
Even
comes
at
This
that
out?
time, you
is
had
this is not
Slipknot.
that hard. I mean, it's
Slipknot was
it's
hard.
Slipknot, when they
it's
came out, they were
commercial
heavy.
hard.
Yeah, there you go, commercial hard, but still, it's still harder.
That's why the preppy kids listen to it.
But here's the thing, though, it's still harder
I think people confused hard with dark.
than.
Corn was very dark.
But
yeah, they
it's
were.
still harder.
Oh, damn,
It's still
they were
heavier.
They were more for the angsty teens.
It's still heavier than most mainstream heavy.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
when-
they
when you-
were.
Well, yeah,
I'm
MTV.
not
they're the
downing
heaviest
out
thing on
Korn.
MTV. I mean, they're.
There you go.
That's what it was.
Some
It
of
really
the
was.
heaviest shit on
It was really
MTV.
what. It was the heaviest thing MTV was
At that
playing
moment
at the time.
in time.
They played them, Slipknot, some System of a Down, but they were the darkest thing, and Slipknot was still fairly kind of
Slipknot was
underground.
just coming
Just coming
out.
out.
And that was some
Slipknot
heavier
didn't
shit.
Get like
but-
mainstream till Toxicity, I gotta say.
But at the same thing, at the
Just
same
Slipknot,
time,
Toxicity.
System of a Down.
System of a
System of a Down. There you
Down.
go.
But at the
didn't
same
get-
time,
okay.
Fear Factory was
Don't rip on
heavy
me in the
as
comments.
fuck. But they decided to do an album that messed with some new metal stuff and turned out into a pretty good album. I'm a Digimortal fan. Even though I like Obsolete and
We did an
Demanufactured,
episode
but
on Digimortal.
We did do a monster
I remember
episode
that.
of Digimortal, and it's a surprisingly good album. Where
We
because-
probably didn't like it in the monster review, but those are characters.
yeah, those are characters, but yeah, like that was a thing. All right, think about when nu metal started to get its first beginnings. All right, I had just discovered. I knew about it for many years, but I just finally listened to Sepultura's Roots. And Josh has been a major fan of it. I've got another buddy named Olin
Max
who's
Cavalera,
always told
baby.
me about this. And I finally checked that album out. Holy fuck, that's a great album. But it has those early seeds of what nu metal would be. Those riffs, because nu metal, what I love about nu metal is the groovy ass riffs.
Yeah, it was even nu metal term was even then. I always felt it was just a catch-all.
Yeah,
They
catch
leveled up
all.
a lot, like Slipknot, Korn, System of a Down, Static X. You had all these bands that were lumped together because they couldn't really call it like heavy metal or death metal. They couldn't call it alternative. They couldn't call it rock. So they came up with what you call
Yeah, it was just-
a new form of metal, and they called it nu metal.
And it made sense. It made sense because, but what I like about it is how there's kind of two versions. There's two roads where one side of nu metal is a little more metal with the groovier riffs and the groovier metal, but then you got the other nu metal that most people. This is where the nu metal gets despised. Is when it becomes a little more on the rap side, and you get your Crazy Towns, you
Limp
get your
Bizkit.
Linkin
Oh,
Parks, your
God.
Limp Bizkits. Where it's some rock and metal shit, but that rap
Yeah.
shit gets a little cringy.
That's where it gets a little more commercial.
That is definitely where it got way more commercial.
We're gonna give you Adidas sponsorships and Chick-fil-A sponsorships. FUBU.
Come on, everyone loved Korn for Adidas,
Yeah.
even though it had nothing to do with the fucking shoes.
I'll dream about sex just all day.
All day I dream about sex.
Man, some of those albums are really good. Like here, we talk a lot of shit about some new metal now.
It's
Even
fun. It's still fun.
It's still
I'm
fun
sorry.
to joke
I love
about
nu metal.
things.
It's still fun to listen to.
I like Limp
sometimes.
Bizkit. Fuck you guys. I
I
like
like
That's
Limp
the thing.
Bizkit for what they were.
I like
you
early
know?
Linkin
like
Park.
I'm not
a
gonna
lot of
lie.
that.
Linkin Park's alright.
I like the original, the early Linkin Park.
Yeah, the early ones. I didn't listen to their later ones.
Except for
but-
that new one with fucking what's his name? Was Justin Timberlake? He did it.
I don't know
What?
if Timberlake.
What was that
is
dance Timberlake dude?
It just sounded like Timberlake because that's where Linkin
Yeah, that's what.
Park went.
Remember how we said that new song he
okay,
did?
yeah.
Or
Didn't we do a Marshmallow Madness
We
on
did do a
Linkin
little,
Park?
but we talked about that new style they were going for, where they just dropped the metal and kind of went for that new pop sound.
Yeah, we
but
did.
Bring Me
we
the
did.
Horizons.
they tried to
doing it
go
too.
gorillas and fucked up big time.
Bring Me the Horizons doing it
Gorillas has
too.
never really been a certain thing, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Linkin Park was trying to do that.
Yeah,
They were just trying to do that polished pop sound.
They were trying to be fucking Maroon 5.
Yeah.
And they,
that sound,
they
yeah, just
totally
that
failed.
sound.
He
where-
killed himself because they failed so bad.
Ooh.
Demonetized.
Now. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. He committed suicide because his best friend died.
You're about to get ripped in the comments.
I'm sorry.
but, I mean,
I say
hey,
the things everyone.
No filter, man.
Yep,
It's freedom
exactly.
of speech. We're not making
YouTube,
fun of the guy.
we're not trying to make money.
Speculation.
Thank you.
But with new metal is we like I was about to say, we do. Zach and I definitely. Josh is a major fan. I like a lot of Limp Bizkit from
Yeah.
$3 Bill, Significant Number. I like a lot of those songs. $3 Bill's a great album to me. Not gonna lie. You know, the Monster Show is playing up the hate. Playing up the hate. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Chocolate Starfish, there's some cool
Yeah.
shit on there.
Chocolate Starfish was
Significant
right
Other
at
is
stop
probably
until
their
Gold
best.
Cobra.
Their better album. In a way, it gives you everything you wanted from $3 Bill, y'all, but it just doesn't.
What's the better album?
Significant
Significant
Other.
Other.
It's like they
It
build
gives
upon
you,
that
it gives
sound.
you the build of all the stuff that you're used to
The $3 Bill
from hearing from
with a good
$3
sampling
Bill.
of hip hop and rap.
Yeah, and then you get $3 Bill is like they were thrown money.
Yeah, a $3 bill I like because it has this rawness.
Yeah,
to it.
it's raw. It's very raw. It was weird.
It's, you know, at the time, nothing else sounded like that.
Yeah,
It was
it
very
was
original.
97,
Very original for
and
its
you're
time.
getting. But here's the thing.
It's just Fred
Okay,
Durst,
here's
man.
a different conversation. You always in '97, you got commercial songs from bands that had an album that had nothing to do with that sound. Limp Bizkit, their first album, sounded nothing like Faith.
Yeah, but Faith
And
though.
then,
its own unique song.
okay, hold up.
Yeah.
Then you get Smash Mouth. Walking on the Sun. The album sounds nothing like that song.
That
but what's
song's- yeah.
great
And then
though-
you get Sugar fucking Ray.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Fly. And
Yeah.
that fucking album sounds nothing like Sugar Ray.
You know what? You're so correct. All right.
97.
Let's bring this up.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say some things here.
New discussion
You're
here.
right here. That does make a lot of sense. Okay, when it comes to that Smash Mouth album, all right?
They make great singles. The singles are amazing.
Yeah.
Walking on the
Get you to buy it.
Sun. Walking on the Sun at least feels
Fu
like
Manchu,
it belongs.
right? It's called Fu Manchu.
No, Fushu Main.
Fushu Main. I knew
But
it said
Walking on
Fu.
the Sun at least feels like it belongs on the album because it's still got that SoCal vibe. There's still a bit of ska.
ska,
The rest
yeah.
of the album's a total ska punk album.
Yeah.
But Walking on the Sun still hits that beachiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's different. Whereas, all right, take that Sugar Ray, right? You're totally onto something.
Mm-hmm.
The Sugar Ray album, heavy as hell, right?
And then you get
You get Fly, and man, I love Fly, love that song.
Exactly, but it doesn't belong.
But it still feels like it belongs on there. But at the same time, it feels like, oh, you guys are trying to have a hit. Whereas when you
Exactly.
Yeah,
hear
they were making a single to get you to buy the album.
yeah, but when you hear Walking on the Sun, you're not like, these guys are trying to make a hit. To me, it just feels like a Smash Mouth song because it feels like it belongs on the album.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah, so when you get to Fly, you're like, okay, sounds like something for a hit, but still a cool song. The whole album's great. First two Sugar Ray albums, really good
Yeah.
shit.
But ska was also
but then
kind of
who else
going
did you bring
downhill.
up? Yeah, Scott was kind of moving
Yeah,
downhill.
97 was like the dead.
Ska was
year.
going
like
down,
the
so
peak.
Smash Mouth was trying to hedge their bets. Like, well, people like this.
The best ska
Less
song
ska,
coming out of
more-
97 was Impression I Get.
That was one of them, definitely.
The best ska song.
Lost
from
Tones.
97.
But what was the other song you had mentioned? There were three. Faith. Okay,
Faith.
when it comes to Faith,
From
From Limp
it's
Bizkit,
their
yeah.
pop song.
it's the pop
that
song.
sounds nothing like what the album has to offer, but that one song determined what their next album was gonna sound like. Fucking Stain did that.
with
The one song from the Family Values tour.
yeah, what was
The
that?
next
Oh,
album
yeah.
sounded exactly like that one fucking song.
I'm looking in.
That's what's so.
Outside.
Stain started off so heavy.
Stain,
And then they
Stain
went
is one of those fucking
completely-
new metal bands.
They were a new metal
They're
band.
one of those new metal bands.
Then like after that, it's like, what is this whiny emo music? It's just
it is,
whiny,
but
soft
it tried.
music.
All right, I got into Stain for some goddamn reason because
Just a Mud Shovel.
Mud Shovel
Mud
was
Shovel.
good.
Love
I
Mud
liked
Shovel.
Mud Shovel, and then I saw him doing the '99
Family Values.
Family Values with Fred Durst live,
Which is
and
technically the original version of
it's
Outside recorded.
exactly- Yep, it's the first original version of Outside recorded.
And at that point, it was a demo. Like, he didn't
Yeah.
have all the parts figured
there
out
was
yet.
not all the parts, but
Fred Durst is saying bullshit in between
yeah, it's the
verses.
real motherfucking deal, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let me see all those lighters.
Yeah.
Show me them lighters out there in the crowd. Like, dude, come on.
Oh.
And then
South
2
Carolina
to 3
represent.
months later, you saw the dude.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
You saw the dude playing the song with his whole band, and it added lyrics but made it lamer.
Did make
And
it
it
lame.
already was.
Made it
I'm
lamer
sorry.
than it already
The
was.
song was lame when
Like,
Fred Durst was on it.
Fred Durst was
and
the
the
best
song
part of it.
got lamer
Yeah.
when you added a
And the Nice
band.
Tour.
Because I already got burnt out on that song Outside when Fred Durst was singing it and it was all over MTV and the radio.
It was. You had the Family Values recorded version as a music video, and you
Yeah.
had the Stain version
Yeah.
as a music
And
video.
then Stain had their own song that sounded like it, and it was what?
There was a lot of tracks that sounded like that.
What is that song called? It's their biggest fucking hit. It's on the same album, Breaking the Cycle. I know the name of the album.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Fuck.
Somebody Google it.
It's
Where's my cell phone?
a song about whatever him and that girl shit.
Uh,
I'm looking it up real quick.
no, don't. I need to. It's gotta come to me.
Yeah, he said come.
He
I
said
come
come.
to me.
Damn it! I was doing a good Peter.
It's been a while.
It's been a
It's been a while.
since I got a blowjob.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's like that's a good.
See, now that's a point. All right.
That's a good Hootie and the Blowfish song.
See, now, all right.
That's like new metal going Hootie and the Blowfish.
So now, before I say what I'm about to say, let me say this. When it came to Faith with Limp Bizkit, they always said, let's take these cheesy pop songs and do them Limp Bizkit style.
Yeah, and they did.
Oh, and then
did
they
great.
ruined
And they
a cover.
right. So they make Faith, which is really fun. I like the original. I like the George Michael version.
Their
But
cover of Faith
I
was
really
fun.
like the Limp Bizkit version.
Yeah.
And so
Sorry.
it's like,
It was mosh pity. You can mosh to it.
you can headbang and all that.
They played it at skate parks all the fucking time.
But-
All skate games and shit.
When they do Behind Blue Eyes later on
Turn-
and fuck it up,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, is this doing the Who Limp Bizkit style? What are you fucking doing? But let's go back to Stained. It's been a while, all right? This is 2001. This is when nu metal has been like the big shit for at least 3 to 4 years. Let's say 98 is the established moment where like nu metal hits out.
Yep.
Because at that point you've got Static X, Power Man, Korn, Limp
Mudvayne.
Bizkit. Well, Mudvayne's about 2000, 2001.
Yeah,
But System of a Down,
I guess they were
Godsmack, all those bands are coming out, and that kind of basically shapes what the mainstream's idea of what nu metal is.
Yep.
All right, so look at that. Man, there's a lot of good shit out there at that point. And even bands like, to me, Static X started off more as an industrial band, but they did have nu metal-y riffs, even with Power Man. Their first album has a little more
Orgy.
funk on it. Orgy 2 was considered some nu metal, but they were a little more industrial.
Yeah,
They
they
were.
got lumped in.
They still are industrial.
Yeah, they're still an industrial band, but like they would get lumped into that nu metal thing. So
But
it's
you know
like,
who? Dead Sea.
Dead Sea.
Dead Sea.
Dead Sea got lumped in there, but they were a later band.
Yeah, they were a little
It's
later
like
on,
at the time
late on
when
the
Dead Sea
bandwagon.
came out, you had your Nickelback band.
Yeah, by the time, see, here's the thing.
you had your butt rock band.
This
Yeah.
is where I was getting to. When you hit 2001 to at least 2004, nu metal turned
There you
into
go.
that Stained shit. You know what I'm saying? Nu metal turned into that Stained kind of sound where it got softer. And that's when, like you said, the Nickelbacks comes out, the Theory of a Dead Man's come out, the Shine Downs come out, and Three Doors Down's come out, and it turns more into rock music that people I hate were listening to. Not going to say what kind of people they were, but not a big fan of those kinds of people.
Yeah.
Bro guys. We're just going to leave it at that. And they were listening to that stuff.
We had our tribal tattoos.
Yeah, like they thought it was some of the heaviest shit. Really? Theory of a Dead Man, heavy, bro? I'm sorry. Like you were saying earlier with the Guar against Korn.
Exactly.
To me, that's where things get really iffy. When you have motherfuckers talking about how Three Doors Down is the heaviest band they've ever heard, that's when I'm like,
And I'm like,
No.
oh, Three Doors Down?
no, they're a rock band,
Do you want to hear Cradle of Filth?
right? I mean, you want to hear some Burzum? Turn on some fucking Mayhem.
Some
Shoot
Demon
some
Warrior?
heavy.
Go backwards. Get some Napalm Death
Demon
going.
Burn.
Get some Napalm in
Even
there.
Slayer. Throw some Slayer, Megadeth in there.
Shit,
Jesus.
yeah, fuck. But yeah, man, so nu metal,
Metallica.
nu metal is one of those genres that it has so many branches.
Metallica is hard. They get a lot of flack, but they were hard.
They're death metal compared to fucking Three Doors Down.
There you go.
Yeah. Fuck.
But nu metal is one of those genres where, all right, take certain different nu metal subgenres, right? Where there's a distinct thing that really identifies what it is. Industrial metal, all right? There are different styles of industrial metal, but you know it's industrial metal when you hear it. But it's crazy how bands who are a little more industrial metal get thrown into the nu metal, which doesn't bother me because when you listen to Static X, especially when you get to the Machine album by Static X, that does sound a little bit more
Hey
new
Travis,
metal.
you know what your favorite chord is?
I don't know.
Your favorite chord?
F?
No, it's D. Because you have
Indentions?
fucking indentions
There you go.
on your
Yeah.
frets. This is the fucking guitar that you were playing since we were like 12 years old. And you've got indentions on your D.
Yeah.
Travis likes the D.
Yeah, the D.
He loves the D.
Like, back to this conversation, man.
Sorry.
Back to this conversation. It's getting interesting here.
It is.
Let's not distract.
I had to throw the
All right,
D.
you have death metal. Very slim things that make it what it is. All right, but when you get new metal, you have a lot of different styles in this umbrella genre.
Yeah.
So, like to me, the first Static X, definitely an industrial album.
Dude, you know what I
Little
love on that
different.
first Static X album? He's a loser. You know what I hear?
Yeah, Ace Ventura.
Exactly. I've been waiting to say that on here or
man.
some shit. Like,
But yeah,
finally, I get to say that. Like, it's not a. I have to talk about Static X, but
Yeah.
that one part on that album, I love that.
When you get
He's
to-
a loser.
but when you get to Machine, things sound a little more of that stereotype new metal sound. And when you get to Orgy, they get thrown in new metal, but they were definitely more of a industrial band. They were definitely more of an industrial band.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
The riffs, the metal riffs, sound kind of similar to what new metal became.
We just
So
got demonetized.
It makes sense to throw them in there. It's weird how new metal does that, because you even got like Disturbed, Disturbed, like it's really weird, isn't it, that most subgenres normally stick to one thing. There are guys who do things a little differently.
Godsmack.
I mean, take industrial
Papa
metal,
Roach.
right? Take industrial metal. KMFDM does not sound like Nine Inch Nails, but they're both industrial.
Yep.
But they keep that same theme going. You've got electronics and some heavy metal in there, and you mesh the two. New metal is weirder because it takes from all kinds of different areas.
Yeah, it does.
Isn't
yeah,
it?
it does. It takes from
That's-
emo. It's like the
lot of
most.
stuff.
Emo came
In a way,
came after
goddamn it,
new
it's
metal,
the
though.
most universal music ever.
It's
I
so
hate
weird.
to say it, new metal is dead.
That's why I said it was a catch-all. They couldn't define.
Yeah.
They,
It's the
they didn't have
most-
subgenres yet for
That's why I was beating in the beginning of this conversation was commercialism.
Yeah, it took
New
a lot of
metal
those styles and made
is
them
the
commercial.
most commercial metal has ever been.
In a way, yeah, because all right, it takes from hip hop, it takes
Yeah.
from groove metal, it takes from
It's
just heavy
the
metal,
universal
it takes from
thing
industrial.
to keep rock alive.
It takes pop sensibilities and pop rock structures.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of stuff going on in new metal that a lot of people don't really talk about, because they'll say, oh, new metal, rap metal, well,
Limp Bizkit
I mean,
bars.
this new
Oh
metal-
my god.
New metal died fast because subgenres came out,
Yeah.
which named everything. Everything
New metal is
everything
a
fell back
subgenre
into
in
its.
itself.
But yeah, it was really a catch-all. There was so much that nobody can name what these things were yet.
Yeah.
Now they're broken down. You got your
Just
emo,
like everything
you
from
have
the
your
90s is called
all kinds of stuff.
alternative.
Yeah, everything was alternative, and this was just different. You couldn't call it alternative because it wasn't alternative. It wasn't an easy list that kind of radio
alternative
rock,
was,
shit.
Alternative rock was your catch-all
College
for,
rock.
Yeah, for like
Exactly.
grunge
College rock
bands.
stuff.
Grunge bands were lumped in there, Subgenres have been around since the beginning of time. But with new metal, just the way all of that stuff was taking different approaches to those styles, that's how they lumped all that together, which is, in a way, are we defending new metal? Are we?
I like new metal.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
it's
talked a
good.
lot of shit.
Like I said, Korn.
Every
System
now
of a Down,
and then,
Slipknot.
I still put on
Stained.
the same. I mean, I guess it's we're dad ages now, and we're old, and we like the things we grew up with.
Yeah, like,
But we're also discovering older stuff and stuff that is new. We've never turned our ears off.
yeah, because, alright, when Papa Roach, you mentioned Papa Roach, when they first came out with that, what the hell is that song called? Cut my life into pieces. I hated that song.
Yeah,
But
I don't
nowadays,
remember the name of it.
Last Resort.
There you go. Thank you, Josh.
Nowadays, if I
Our
hear it,
resident
I don't
new
mind
metal
it.
guy.
I don't mind it. The riff is cool.
It's ripped off from I want to say it's a Iron Maiden ripoff. Yeah, that.
But I like to listen to it in more of a, let's say, like, oh man, this was a thing when we were growing up. Wasn't
Like
that?
Limp Bizkit.
Like that's why I don't mind hearing some Backstreet Boys come on or some Hanson. Like, oh man, this was a thing. Remember?
Yeah.
You know, but back then I was having none of it.
It's a timely thing because listening to stuff that's on the radio now, I'm like,
You got any more beer over there?
what's wrong with you? I probably don't.
You probably don't.
I don't know. There's
I've got
a box.
some in the fridge.
I was listening to stuff that
Oh,
other
there
people were
is.
listening
No,
to.
there's not. There's empty
Like
boxes.
Coal Chamber. I throw some Coal Chamber. Dope.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with some Cold Chamber, but some Korn. I gotta say, they put out their best albums in the '90s. Korn, in my opinion, I haven't really kept up
Late
with them
90s, early 2000s, and that
much, other than what we have listened to and you brought over, and then I listened to some of the stuff in the 2000s, and I wasn't really a big fan of it.
Yeah.
But Korn, in my opinion, put out their best in the '90s.
Definitely. To me, those first 4 Korn albums, phenomenal shit.
Yeah.
Especially the first 3. Especially the first 2. Man, God.
First 3.
Those first.
And even fucking Issues. I'm sorry. I
Issues,
know. The thing I hate about bands is when they put out an album a year after another.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time to grow as artists. You're just putting off B-sides that should have been on the album before.
But what's crazy though is I didn't like Issues all that much when
Issues
it first
doesn't
came out.
sound anything like fucking...
Exactly.
That's
Leader.
where I'm at. It's
You
like,
hear
are
some
you
growth.
fucking kidding me?
It's Korn, but it's a little more on the weirder experimental side.
Yeah, it's...
Even though all their shit was very weird and experimental, Korn gets a little. I mean, Issues gets a little weird there. That's like,
Yeah.
all right. And I hated it when it first came out. I liked some of the radio songs, but went back a couple years ago when we did the Korn retrospective. I was like, damn, this is a really good album. It's better than I remember it. But to me, after that, it all kind of just goes out, and Korn becomes so predictable. And a lot of those bands, to me, you know, I haven't listened to a lot of their shit. That like any new Papa Roach I hear, never was the biggest fan of Papa Roach. But any new Papa Roach, to me, none of it sounds as cool as that riff on Last Resort.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Broken home,
oh yeah.
so alone.
You had that point. You had that point where new metal that it
Became emo.
shifted, and your Puddle of Muds were coming out, all that stuff.
Puddle
and
of Mud
Yeah, they should have never been
is
titled new
Fred
metal.
Durst.
That's just like Puddle of Mud and bands like that. Should
If it wasn't for Fred Durst, Puddle of Mud would not exist.
Weird.
Because the dude from Puddle of Mud, alright, Fred Durst heard a demo from Puddle of Mud, and he contacted the lead singer and was like, I want you guys. And he's like, dude, we already broke up. We're done now. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And then Fred Durst spent the money to fly out there to fucking get this dude up and want to fucking sign the guy to where they made a new band. And it was that guy. And then just Puddle of Mud is the Fred Durst
It's an
project.
interesting story, though.
Yeah,
It's
it
an
is.
interesting
It
story.
is. Because Puddle of Mud made a lot of songs you recognize.
A lot of them. I hate them all. But
Exactly.
damn it, do I know?
I do too.
Damn
But
it,
if it
do I
wasn't
know.
for Fred Durst, if it wasn't for Limp Bizkit, we wouldn't have Puddle of
Some
Mud.
crazy shit. But yeah, so there was that shift where things kind of just turned into that Puddle of Mud sound, the Nickelback sound, the Theory of a Dead Man, the Shinedown sound, and it was that for a couple years. And you had the Buck Cherry. I remember when Buck Cherry first came out, and it sounded like some
Yeah, it was like
Aerosmith
some
bullshit.
no, it was like some lo-fi fucking Aerosmith shit, but it was like garage rock kind of thing.
Then they come
Party
back, and they're doing the Crazy Bitch song. It's
Yeah.
like, this is some
And
garbage.
then I'm sorry.
Yeah, the I'm sorry shit. Some
You
garbage.
gotta have your epic fucking
The
anthem.
Hinder came out, and a lot of these bands haven't been around. Hinder? Does anybody remember Hinder except for the what is it? Voice of an Angel? Arms of an Angel? What the fuck was that
The
called?
one where he's like,
The lips of an angel.
I got my girlfriend in the room, but I'm thinking about my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cheat on my current girlfriend to be with my ex. but she don't know about it because you got lips of an
Call it
angel.
trailer park rock.
And I'm like, dude, that is exactly trailer park rock. Like,
Well, then you got like,
dude, if you don't want to be with the person you're with, if you want to be with your ex, fucking do that. That is stupid.
When you get, all right, now think about this too. New
That
metal
just makes me think the guy that's singing the song is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
When new metal started to branch off into a real
Lips
generic
of an
rock
angel.
sound, that's when you got Trapped, Switchfoot.
That was more leaning on the lines of the emo.
That's where that shit was leaking in there. Who was I
Where
about
you
to
get
say?
your Taking Back Sunday and your Fall Out Boy.
Bullet for my
Because they were hard. You had your hard punk
AFI started going that way too.
You had those kind of things.
See, that's hitting on that pop.
That's where
punk scene, though.
Switchfoot kind of falls in the lines of a failed Fall Out Boy project to me.
Really?
Because Fall Out Boy to me is like
Taproot's who I meant to say.
Taproot.
Taproot.
There you go.
Oh, but then another one too. All right, you had some of these bands. Some of these bands.
What is
turned
that?
into-
Chevelle.
Ugh.
Some of them did a good job, like Seether.
See, Seether I hated at first, but
Yeah,
after
that
they
first
had-
album,
they
you listen to
had
that first
group-
album,
alright.
you're like, okay, it's actually not
I
bad.
don't like Seether. I don't like them at all. But they have groovy hooks.
yeah,
They have good hooks.
That's why that one album.
Sorry.
Yeah, Josh, you actually had
I got
me
that.
hear some of those Seether songs.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
bought
know,
that
this,
down.
some of this shit isn't all that bad. Not as bad as I remember.
Because it's got that twangy southern sound to it.
He's got some hooks.
Even
I'll
like
give
even
him
like
that.
Deftones. I was not
Oh,
into
yeah.
Deftones when they were coming out, but
Yeah, now
after
they're pretty
checking
good.
them out now, you
My
know, I'm
Own
like, you know
Summer is
what?
one of my favorite songs.
Deftones is some pretty good shit. They were a different thing than all the other stuff happening at that point. But also, check this out. You got some bands who started off with great shit, and then some of those people left and started some really shitty stuff. Days of the New, an amazing fucking band, like leftovers of the grunge era is what I call them. And then the singer is so fucked up on drugs that the band leaves and they become tantric. And that is some
God.
dog shit. But man, Days of the New was so good. What happened?
Tantric? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Days of the New became
Days
tantric?
of the New became tantric.
If you
basically.
could only see.
Is that tantric?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It went from, well, I finally found the reason.
And then they became, if you could
Remember
only
the song
see
Black on
the
Blue?
way she
Oh,
loves me,
Black on Blue.
maybe you would
Yeah,
understand.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd, blue on black, tears on a ripple,
Hold up.
push on the shove, and it don't
Tantric.
mean much.
It's all it sounds like
Rad
that.
song, right?
No, it's awesome. It's like all the other music, just like somebody made something good, and everyone's just like, "Oh, we're gonna make that sound now." Tantric.
But yeah, so new metal, you get Mudvayne, which is some of these new metal bands to me only have one good album. Mudvayne, fuck
80s.
everything after LD50.
LB50.
LD50
I
is
like that.
awesome.
I don't
It's
remember the name of the
trippy.
album.
It's
But
weird.
it has like 3
Tantric
songs. I like on
does
that new album. Their
Break
last
down,
album.
down and out. I don't know what song I'm looking for.
If you could only see all the world,
Well, maybe that's a
love
different song.
man. That can't be tantric.
I
Yeah.
don't think that is Tantric.
This is Fruit Loops.
Yeah, you know those bands like American Reject. You start getting all those bands, all
Yeah,
these
'cause the
other bands
pop
that
punk break
pop punk
down.
spawned off all that stuff.
This.
Okay. This looks fucking weird.
I just always thought it was more of an angsty fucking pop music now.
New metal.
Yeah, that's not new metal.
And I saw them assholes live, dude. That's when me and David were like, fuck this. We're going on the roof to smoke
You
cigarettes.
saw them guys live? Did
Yeah.
you hear this song
I
live? Probably.
can't remember. It
Probably
had to
because
be.
that made a video.
Had to fucking be. But they probably played it when we went up on the roof to smoke cigarettes because we were like,
Or they were probably
not
playing
having
it
this.
before you got there,
We're
and you
not.
heard the song.
We were not having this.
It's like,
Yes, they had to play it when we were on the roof because we came
Tantric.
back. We came back.
you saw
with,
Tantric.
Oh, yeah. I have not been to some really good concerts, people. I went to that because David's mom bought the tickets and he had
Yeah, it
no one
was
to go
free.
with.
It
Yeah,
was
free.
free.
Like, fuck
I
it.
mean, just like the Muse concert, but that was a great fucking
One of the
free
best concerts
concert.
I've ever
Oh my
been to.
god! Except for being there with all those people.
Well, I mean, you know, people are gonna be a thing at concerts.
But that crowd, the big ass crowd.
But
Because I've been to Buckethead concerts that was tiny.
But
It's
look
awesome.
at new metal. Like in a way, I'm defending some of the better new metal. The first couple of years had some really good shit, really, because it was something new, it was something different. Nothing else was sounding like that. But then cringe happens, and you get Crazy Town. You know, Crazy
Where they're
Town.
sampling a moment from a Chili Pepper song that nobody knows about.
Yeah, which
Like,
is kind
come
of
on,
cool.
dude.
Which is kind of cool. Like
It was
taking
a
some
good
obscure shit.
sample, but it's like it was better when Chili Peppers did
Yeah,
it.
take the sample and get
Because it
somebody
came out
better
of
on it.
nowhere. On the Chili Peppers album, it's amazing. But when you repeat it for 4 fucking minutes,
And go, come on, baby, come
oh
on,
my
baby,
god,
come on,
it becomes a fucking drag. And it's the worst song ever. Because all I can picture is fucking, yo, I'm
Tatted up,
a tattooed
motherfucker.
bro dude.
With
I'm
no
a tattooed
shirt.
bro college dude.
Well,
I'm
that's
just
what the
like,
whole
come on,
album's
baby.
about. Is getting crushing some pussy.
Frosted tips.
Yeah, like crush some pussy.
dude, that haircut, dude.
Ugh.
Fuck.
Hey.
I know it was a thing,
See,
but that
I was
music.
more of a goth kid, man. But so that look to me was like, you're the kind of
But
motherfucker
see, I was a
I
punk
hate to
kid,
see.
and I'm like, you're ruining it for the punk guys.
It's
'Cause
like,
punk
what are
isn't
you, man?
cool anymore.
Are you like taking shit from punk and taking shit from the preps I make fun of? What are you doing, bro?
So it was funny, is like back in the day, punk at that time was looked at like your Malcolm in the Middle and your
That's when
Blink-182
you know,
kind
that's
of
when the
punk
pop
look.
punk thing was
But
major.
in my eyes, it was like, no, I'm looking at like old fucking Sex Pistols punk. The way
Ramones.
they looked, like just dirty.
It's just dirty,
dirty.
These guys look like
Sunglasses,
Like,
a leather jacket.
Exactly. You ain't bathed in like 2 weeks.
yeah. All the pop punk guys look like those cool kids in the neighborhood that
The British
like
punk.
their parents had
British
money.
punk.
British
But they didn't give a shit. You know, they weren't
Yeah.
preps, but their parents had money. You know, that's what
Yeah,
the pop punk
yeah,
guys
yeah.
look like.
They grew up in those good neighborhoods.
Yeah, they grew up in the suburbs, but they liked some punk music.
Yeah.
You know?
And they liked Green Day.
Yeah, there you go.
That's-
they grew up in the
That's what
suburbs
it
and
is.
thought
They
Green
grew
Day was
up
the
liking
punkest
Green
shit
Day, so
they
they
ever
made
heard.
music that sounded like Green Day.
So, I mean, like, so,
82.
you know, the new metal thing was massive for a minute, but then,
Punk
yeah,
light.
there you go. It jumps
Punk
into
light.
that
Punk diet punk.
Sugar-free punk.
sugar-free punk.
Punk Zero.
Punk zero. All the taste, none of the calories.
Yeah.
That's what we need
What
to
is
do. Make a band called Punk Zero.
Yeah. All of the look, none of the edge.
Exactly.
All the look, none of the sound.
Yeah. So it's crazy, you know, new metal hit its
We're all
peak,
ambient because we never recorded
98,
songs.
90.
You like punk, but you drive a minivan?
even to the point where Kid Rock became less of a rapper guy and more of a new metal guy.
Yeah.
Love Devil Without a Cause. I love that album.
I smell popcorn.
But
And just something.
I hate everything else Kid Rock has ever done after, and not a big fan of everything he's done before. Devil Without a Cause has a lot of great songs on there that I love. I was what, 13 when I bought that album? One of the first CDs I ever bought. So I'm nostalgic for that shit. I mean,
Monster Magnet.
Monster Magnet, they're more groove metal
But
though.
that only just
I
that
don't
one
know-
song,
I don't
Space
know the
Lord.
first thing about some Monster Magnets.
Space
so I
Lord.
can't comment on
Space
that.
Lord.
Motherfucker.
No,
Or
mother. He's
yeah.
never said motherfucker.
I don't understand why they say
The
that.
video for it is so good. It's Kid Rock-esque.
The music video is so cool.
It's got that P. Diddy, the flashy clothes and everything. It's just like,
Oh,
oh,
God.
it's amazing.
To me, they were always more groove metal, but you can easily put them in that new metal tinge.
New metal is very subjective, just like any other genre.
It's a catch-all.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
You
subjective.
really can't
But that's
It's
why
just like
band
pop.
called-
Pop is very
yeah,
catch-all.
pop is a
'Cause
definite
back then,
umbrella term.
like you couldn't release a Beatles song today and it be as big as it was back then, with every other fucking overproduced pop song that's coming out today.
TV bands back then, like the Monkees.
yeah, you
The
couldn't
Monkees
have that.
came out because the Beatles were popular.
Well, it was a TV band. They made a
Yeah,
band
yeah,
for a TV show,
yeah.
and it just happened to be a good band. It did a
There
good
you
job.
go. Bands that were made for TV episodes. You can make like a conversation about that.
You could, but who?
There's a bunch. If you talk about
I mean,
the
I guess you got
70s.
Death Claw. Well, I would say
Death Claw, there you go.
Death Claw,
Fucking Tenacious
Monkees,
D.
Tenacious.
But Tenacious D was Tenacious D before the series, though.
There you go. It's a band that had a series.
Oh.
It's probably not a lot because you can't really call. Well, maybe Spinal Tap. It was for a movie.
For a movie.
Yeah, I guess that
Spinal
would
Tap
fall-
was
Spinal Tap
made
would fall
from-
into-
If it wasn't for the movie, Spinal Tap wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah,
it
so
became
that would
its
fall in
own
the same
entity.
category,
Yeah, I
'cause-
see. I can see all that.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of bands, but I guess you probably.
You
You
can
can,
find
you
it.
can
You gotta
just talk
think
about
hard.
Spinal Tap as a fucking in March Metal Madness.
We already have.
I know we did
That
because
very
I got
first,
the black one.
Yeah, that very first.
I forgot I got the black
March Metal
album.
Madness we did.
It's
but
all
back
over the
on,
fucking place.
But back on new metal, like you said, it's so subjective. But I think that's also because new metal, as a subgenre, takes from so many different genres and turns it into its own thing. Like I was saying earlier, where you get bits of industrial, bits of hip hop, bits of groove metal, bits of just heavy metal, and it kind of creates its own thing.
That's the easiest way to put it together. It's like you get the nice drop D guitars.
Yeah, so you got that.
You gotta have the drop D guitars. A lot
You
of
gotta drop
bass.
the D.
You
I'm
got a lot of
sorry.
bass. You gotta have fast lyrics.
That's the thing I started
Turntables
saying.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
You gotta have little turntables.
There's scratches
There
in
actually
there.
is a formula for new metal.
There is a formula for a standard.
You gotta have
standard
the
metal.
scratches, you gotta rap, and you gotta drop the G.
I mean, like when we were doing our new metal characters on the Monster Show, like that right there, new metal all the way. So easy
Yeah.
to do. So easy to do that stereotypical
It's a
sound.
formulaic new metal song.
And it's actually kind of fun to do because
Yeah,
it was
really
fun doing
was.
those.
But we just didn't have the DJ.
Yeah, we just need the DJ there.
The hardest part was actually trying to film it, because we knew our parts and how to play the song. It was just like when the camera came on, it was like, God damn it, God damn it. All right, take it again from the beginning.
And then another new metal thing, and the thing that annoys me is the misspelling of words. That is a thing
Yeah,
that
we
really
always
annoys me.
that's what we played with.
I
in
think
our
Korn
new
took it
metal
to the
episode.
extreme though, because they had the K and the backwards R.
Corn, it was cool
But
with
Limp
Korn,
Bizkit
though.
is the most fucking one that needs to be criticized
Limp
for
Bizkit
it,
is
because
the one
come on
that
now.
really, like the Bizkit.
That's not how you spell biscuit.
Well, but also because of what Limp Bizkit means.
Yeah, but still, it's not how you spell biscuit.
Or maybe they didn't want to be associated with what actually
No,
Limp
that's
Bizkit
why they
meant.
named it that.
But I mean,
Just like Pearl Jam named it after
Plus,
Cum.
it doesn't seem, when you look at the word Limp Bizkit on an album, it wouldn't look very new metal. It just says biscuit, Limp and Biscuit.
I
It
mean,
wouldn't
like,
look right. That looked more new metal having the Z in there and the
L-I-M-P.
K.
yeah, it's like that became
B-I-Z-K.
such a trope, man.
Because Korn's
Such a
thing was the
trope.
backwards R.
Biz Kit.
Backwards R and spelling K with a Korn with a K, which at the time, I mean, they came out in '94.
B-I-Z-K-I-T.
Before that was a major thing.
Biz
Like Korn
Kit.
was like the inventors of that in a way. So like it worked for Korn to me because the way they drew it had this weird, creepy look to it that
Yeah,
really
like a
felt-
little child wrote
the O was small, the N was small, the R was oversized, and the K was all oversized and everything.
yeah, it was
But the
a really
R
cool
was
logo.
backwards.
Yeah.
Backwards R,
Yeah.
uppercase backwards R, uppercase K, lowercase O and N. Really, really cool look there. Really cool look. Like you said, looked like a child drew it. Had this weird, sort of like, I don't know, like a horror movie vibe. Like when you get to
Because it wasn't straight and perfect. It was all like sort of.
yeah. So another thing,
It was
yes,
very,
It
very.
was a jagged.
very jagged. When you look at Limp Bizkit, such a perfect font.
Yeah.
Well, they always changed it.
But there's
Yeah.
also Limp Bizkits would look more like graffiti, and their name was also look they were more hip hop, so the way they talk would be a Bizkit.
Definitely, yeah, definitely more hip hop.
So that's why they're
Definitely more
Limp
hip-hop.
Bizkit always changed it though.
Yeah, they always change.
They always change.
But
the
all their
logo.
albums still kind of have an
Korn
art.
always kind of kept up with the.
They always
typical-
kind of did keep with
the
the
font.
Korn logo font. Yeah.
And the
The
kid
logo
theme.
font. They always kept up with that.
And
but
the kid theme.
the way it looked like a kid was being fucking tortured.
Well, it's because it's
spell
supposed. It's
Korn.
about him and how he was
I
tortured
love
by his
that
dad.
meme now though, where Jonathan Davis is eating a thing of corn. So it's
Cannibalism.
Yeah, I haven't seen
I
that.
love that. You haven't seen it?
Oh, I
It's
haven't
all-
seen that.
Okay.
no.
Okay.
But
I saw that when I was in Captain Marvel
I
last
saw it
night.
right after Travis's shit post of him making people be 2 hours late to work Monday. Everyone keeps passing that share damn thing.
Oh, yeah,
And it's telling people to send it back. They're gonna be 2 hours late Monday.
Turn back time.
And if you look at the original,
Oh.
if you look at the original poster who created that meme, the guy's doing Dr. Evil fucking posts, and people are like, you know, people are gonna be 2 hours late. And he's like, yes, purposely setting people up. Brilliant.
Just to fuck with people.
That's why social media sucks.
So I mean,
I don't
new
even
metal-
set my clocks.
I always talk
Don't
shit.
do it.
Point.
I always talk shit about new metal. On this channel, I've talked a lot of shit, but
We
there's
love
a
new metal.
lot of new metal I really like. And to me, it was an interesting genre for the first couple of years before it became oversaturated and streamlined,
Overproduced.
and that, like you said, that formula when it became so formulaic. Like Korn, man. Korn started off so great, then became real formulaic.
And they did stay sort of the same for
Like
a
even
while.
when Korn started
They
dabbling
changing
in
it.
other genres, they still
Yeah.
had that formulaic Korn sound
Yeah.
in dubstep. You fucked it up. But
One
This is
song on that
future
album.
metal. It's not new metal. It's future.
Well,
Not new.
they
Even
finally
though future
redeemed
is
themselves
new.
with the last album. It was
yeah,
much better than the shit they've had for the
way.
longest
It was
time.
a decent album, yeah.
Just like the new Avenged Sevenfold.
No,
finally
it's
redeemed
pretty
themselves.
much Korn featuring dubstep artists.
No, see that album. That's one. I like the Skrillex song with them.
It's
That was
not
it. The rest
future
is- I
metal.
don't like
It's Korn featuring.
Yeah, the dubstep stuff on that album was really good.
It's good, but it's the way he described it.
Yeah,
I have
he
to
hyped
say
it
it's
up
not
in a
future
different-
metal.
in a way that
And then
didn't work.
he said something more asinine about metal.
He said
the
you're not
last-
supposed to mix electronica and metal.
It's
It's like,
you
motherfucker,
did
people have
several
been doing that
times.
for years. It's
And
called
you-
industrial.
You did it yourself.
KMFDM's been doing it since like 80 fucking 4.
There's just more on the metal side.
Nine
than
Inch
industrial.
Nails.
Yeah, electronic
It's nothing
side.
but electronic metal.
Yeah, Nine Inch Nails is almost borderline electronica nowadays, you know? Like, come on, Korn, Jonathan Davis. Yeah, that was the most asinine. I didn't mind that he called it future metal.
He shut up and plays
That was
Xbox.
a cool term to me. I like that term.
He is a
future
basic
metal.
gamer. He plays Xbox. I play my Call of Duty and my
PC,
this, that, and
baby.
the other. Like, dude, shut
PC
up.
mastery. No, the best thing Jonathan Davis has done in a long time is he did that song with Skinned. That's Jonathan Davis' voice has a uniqueness to it that's great.
He
with that
does.
dark style music. That's kind of creepy.
He did sound the best in a long time on that track.
Yeah, that fucking. I don't think Zach knows what we're talking about.
I'm just listening.
Industrial band that kind of takes industrial but uses that new style of electronica that you hear.
And it's
in
about serial killers.
that, I call it that Coachella electronica sound.
Okay.
So it's basically taking that and putting
Yeah,
it
high
into
dollar
a,
money.
taking that, putting it into a more industrial metal setting. It sounds really cool to me. Sounds really cool because I like some of that Coachella EDM. I'm
Let's
sorry.
grill some hot dogs.
See, we got.
Yeah,
I should have
do
brought.
it.
I got some tasty ass fucking brats I got at the German store.
In
But
your car?
yeah, no, I didn't.
As
Well, I
soon
got
as
some
the
hot
car
dogs here.
thawed
I'm
out.
That's the thing about when we were
Grilling
growing
them
up.
now.
We all usually listen to one.
It'll take
one
like
genre.
10 minutes to grill some hot dogs.
Yeah, we growing up. Most of us all listen to one genre. That's why we didn't really listen to other stuff. Me, it was new metal. That's the reason my favorite bands, literally two favorite bands. Number one would always be System of a Down and Korn, and number two would be Slipknot. Because those were the most mainstream. But that's why I listened.
fucking Slipknot, dude.
I love the first Slipknot albums. Iowa was
My
fucking
God,
glorious. People
I don't
Equal
even
Shit
really.
is
Like,
a great
I
song.
hate to do it, but I don't put Slipknot in the new metal.
Well, it's
genre,
not.
even
It
though they
really-
are
Slipknot sounded more like Fear Factory to me, you know?
like
Yeah.
new, like
with
Slipknot.
scratches.
Slipknot do have the scratches and the new
And
metal
that's the only part that really makes
sound
them.
of the '90s, but they are not new metal
Yeah,
in my
but
opinion.
see, they got lumped into them
I don't
because
know what it is.
because Corey Taylor, he's more. A lot of songs, he's vocalizing so fast, he can almost consider he's rapping. And it's not even scratches. They're using it's a laser beam, and he puts it when he passes his hand through it. That's the higher his hand is. It's what's that damn?
Almost like a theremin.
Almost like a theremin. It's a
Okay,
digital
so
theremin.
It is a theremin.
Yeah, more or less.
Theremin. If
it's
you're
like
going up and down, it's
because it's a
right
laser
and
beam,
left.
and it's messing with the tone. That's why.
Okay,
Because you ever watched them play, and then you got the random drum line of the two guys beating on fucking
Yeah,
bass
and
drums.
there's the drummer. You got your percussionist and your drummer.
So
Well,
that's the only reason they fell into it.
That's why
because
there's
the sound.
9 fucking people.
I still love that he fired his
But
ass with a fucking
actually,
telegram,
there's
a
only
songogram,
7.
singogram.
There's 7 now because they got rid of the drummer and the bassist
In the most
died.
epic of ways too.
No, that
they
didn't
sent his-
happen. That didn't
It
happen.
didn't happen. Oh man,
It was confirmed to be a.
Yeah.
shit. That'd have been glorious.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be the
I
funniest
would love a
shit.
singogram.
That'd have been great if it did, but it didn't happen.
That's how you fire somebody, a singogram.
Yeah.
And that sucked though, the drug use and everything.
Yeah.
Because he's an amazing drummer.
But they got Max Weinberg's son.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Max Weinberg. If you guys,
because the newest
dude,
Slipknot was
that
good.
that proves our age.
David
because
was right about
we
that.
I said Max Weinberg. Max Weinberg and the Max Weinberg 7.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Played drums on Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell.
Yep. He played drums on some Meatloaf. He was
Fucking
in
Meatloaf's awesome.
he was fuck, what is that dude's name? Born in the USA.
Oh, Springsteen, yeah.
Springsteen. He was the drummer for Springsteen. So
East
his
Street.
son is playing for Slipknot now.
That's cool.
That new album
East
was
Street
fucking
Band's
good.
son is
And
playing.
he is actually really good. I'm sorry.
He better be.
But his drumming is, in my opinion, more entertaining and more engaging than Joey Jordison.
Shit, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Custer, you remember the song
I said
Custer?
that on our Slipknot review.
On that Custer. He's fucking rocking the shit out of that fucking drum. He is really good.
Yeah.
There ain't no doubt about it.
I mean, like, and then, some of those new metal bands have evolved in ways I don't really get into.
But
I got
new
him in
metal is a
E6.
thing. If you
Yeah,
guys,
it's just-
you
you started
new
liking E6.
millennials, if you new millennials
but
choose
That
to-
one album, is it Horoscope?
I don't know. Horoscope, they said it's supposed to sound more like Lit. They were just,
Oh, Lit.
Decent
Oh,
band.
Lit was another band I loved.
they were
I
like
like
one
Lit.
step above the wussy rock bands to me.
Wussy Rock.
Yeah, all this stuff makes
Is
me
that
start going
like
back and listen to it.
Wussy rock hits the Matchbox 20,
oh, the Matchbox?
the Goo
Okay,
Goo
that's exactly
Dolls,
where I was going.
and even the Semisonic.
No, I mean you got
Like
into
some
that last
Semisonic
month.
albums and songs, but damn, that
Semi-Tribal.
shit's some wussy ass.
You know what?
rock.
I hate to do it, but I would throw it in there. Fastball.
Hits that wussy rock.
It is
they got
wussy.
some
It
good
is.
shit.
It
I
is.
still love that fucking song though.
Yeah, damn,
I
the
love
way-
those-
the way is so
those-
good.
those two
Way is an
songs.
Amazing song.
The way
Video's
and what is out of my mind, out of my head, or whatever the name it was. Out of my mind, was out of
See,
my
I loved some
mind.
music back then.
How can
Harvey
I
Danger.
ever be so
Yeah, Harvey
blind?
Danger rock,
Flagpole
yeah.
Sitta. That was a great song.
Flagpole
Hey,
Sitta.
Third Eye Blind,
My
love some Third Eye
God,
Blind.
that's a good song.
But they
Right.
definitely on that
It's
wussy
wuss
rock
It's,
spectrum.
it's 90s wuss rock.
It was like it was rock that the preps could listen to and enjoy.
It was
Yeah.
their alternative music.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like it's like you could be a prep and your mom would approve.
It's okay. In high school,
listening to this.
we were the
stuff.
cradle of filth
we're gonna
kids.
end on that note. New metal is cool.
So I mean, yeah. Let's say, what do you guys talk about some new metal with us? I mean, in a way, we've talked a lot of shit about new metal. Josh, big new metal fan.
I love new metal.
There's a lot of new metal I like. So I mean, in a
We're
way,
just metal fans. That's the best
Yeah,
way
we're
to put
just
it.
metal
we're-
fans.
We're big metal.
Metal
fans.
is going to always be metal.
yeah,
And
exactly.
we're always gonna be fans. We're
And
gonna grow
I
old
love-
and listen to metal.
I love genre mixing, and
Yeah.
I love the way different sounds match. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it starts off
Yeah.
great and then becomes garbage, which is
But
eventually what
then when
happens to
it
new metal.
becomes garbage to you because it's oversaturated,
And
Somebody
it
else
gets
might love it.
better because there's those bands
Still
you cherry
subjective.
pick. There's those bands that you cherry pick out of that bullshit. That you're like, those are actual genuinely good ones.
Yeah.
And that's where the the personal
Like,
opinion.
there's
So
some-
it's still subjective. What
exactly.
we like,
Everything is subjective.
hell, Travis thought Good Charlotte sounded like, oh, that sounds like a badass band name. Until he found out what the music sounded like.
When was that?
That was a long time ago.
He knew what Good Charlotte was.
Well, before he ever heard it.
Oh, it sucked.
Exactly. Some of those bands had such awesome names, like, oh, dude, Bullet for My Valentine? That sounds badass. Some of the band names, they come out with some of the
Maybe
damn best
that was
names.
you, but all right, let's start this grub because I want some hot dogs.
So, back on the thing.
yeah, I guess because I'm already
We're sort of defending new metal here. The good stuff. There's some garbage. There's definitely some garbage. But when it becomes that formulaic sound that dominated, that came after the first couple of greats and dominated the airwaves for a couple years, that's
Like
where
I,
we talk our shit. But there's definitely some golden turds in the punch bowl.
There's always
There's a turd in a punch bowl.
there's a turd in the punch bowl.
But yeah,
Turd in the punch bowl. There's a turd in the
So,
punch bowl
for
me.
a March Metal Madness discussion, I dig a lot of
Hey,
new
yeah,
metal.
I'm not hating on new metal because it is a metal. It is metal in its own right because you can take fucking. There's ballad songs. There's songs that are so fucking soft. The softest shit with pianos and horns and shit and strings, and that shit is metal.
And we wanted to do this episode because we got another March Metal Madness planned where we're just going to talk about heavy metal subgenres. And we dabbled into it a little bit here, but get ready. We're going to go down a rabbit hole because wouldn't you say that heavy metal is probably the genre with the most subgenres ever?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we stop on that because part 2's coming soon.
And we'll see you guys later.
Holy shit. That is one that can be forever.